Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story, the sad story, the scary story. The story, le terrible, of the little girl who never brushed her hair. Dun dun dun. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she had hair. Now, this is common to most little girls. Most little girls have hair. But what do little girls have to do with their hair? They have to brush their hair every morning and every night to make sure their hair stays lovely and beautiful and shiny and gorgeous and beautimous, and to make sure that there are no knots and tangles in it in their hair. But this little girl said, "No, I don't want to brush my hair." So she didn't. And every day, her mommy would say, "Come here so I can brush your hair, please." And the little girl said, "No, I'm not going to brush my hair." And her hair got so tangled and knotted, little animals started to live in it. First, there was a birdie, and the birdie came to snuggle into her hair. Tweet, tweet. And the little girl was like, "No, I don't want you in my hair." And the little bird was like, "Tweet." The little girl couldn't get her out of her hair because her hair was so tangled, the bird was just burrowing down in there. Every time the little girl's fingers came, the bird was like, "Tweet!" and would try to bite her fingers. And after that, there were the rats. The little girl was just laying in her bed, and suddenly she felt... and she was like, "Ah!" And a couple of rats got into her hair, and the bird was like, "Tweet, tweet." Which meant come in and bird. And the little girl was like, "No!" and put her fingers in there, and the little bird was like, "Tweet!" And the rats were like, "Squeak!" And the little girl was scared to put her fingers in her own hair. And so many little animals started to come and live in the little girl's hair. There was the little cockroach from Wall-E. And he came in. It lived in her hair. And she was like, "No!" And she was so embarrassed. She didn't want to go out anywhere because every time she went out somewhere, another animal would try to live in her hair. She's like, "I'll run away to Canada." And a moose tried to run into her hair. And she was like, "Ah!" So she went back. And she went outside. And a javelina tried to jump into her hair. She was like, "No!" Maybe. And so she came back into her room, and she sat down, and she said, "If only I had brushed my hair like my mommy told me, I wouldn't have all these tangles and knots and cockroaches and rats and birds saying tweet every time I try to get them out. Why didn't I listen?" And you know what they had to do? What? They had to cut all of her hair off. They shaved her head. She was as bald as a pool ball. And shiny. And she was so sad. She had to sit in her room and wait for her hair to grow back. And when her hair started growing back, her mommy brought the hairbrush to her and said, and gave her the hairbrush. And the little girl said, "Yes, Mommy," and started to brush her hair. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.